a shoulder smash, and you can barely budge him.
Very impressive use of the headbutt to the kidney area of Steve Dahl. And this young man from Dallas has been decimated.
Whoa, reverse pile driver.
Jim Ross along with Joel Watts will describe the action, ladies and gentlemen. And Joel, it's going to be simply a phenomenal hour.
It most certainly will, Jim. We're going to see the New Zealand Sheep Herders in action, one of the great tag teams in the Mid-South area. Now, the North American title situation has been real hot, but the tag team situation is really heating up due to the fact that the inaugural Jim Crockett Sr. Memorial Cup Tag Team Tournament will be coming to the Mid-South area. It has been signed for the Superdome, and we've been contacted, Mid-South has, by just about every major tag team in the world. And it's going to be a real job just sorting out the contestants and ranking them and seeding them and such. But we have a lot of great matches for you today also.
We sure do. The Rock and Roll Express against the Fabs here today. Plus, you're going to see the Mid-South Tag Team Championship on the line here today. And I also had an interview with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert prior to going on the air. Let's hear his comments. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert would like to take this opportunity to make a statement and several important announcements surrounding his career in 1986.
That's right. I want everyone to listen to this very good. Now, Jim Ross, you're a very intelligent man. I got to say that. You are. And you know that I told everyone in Mid-South, I told all the wrestling fans that 1985 was going to be my year, and it was. And now, as 1986 comes ahead, well, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert has one of the greatest announcements ever. I am voluntarily, Jim Ross, at the age of 24 years old, I'm stepping down from the wrestling ring, and I'm announcing my retirement today.
That seems to make everyone extremely happy. What predicated this announcement?
I just knew you were going to ask me that. Well, first of all, look behind me. I have a 280-pound Mongolian, and I have a man that we'll be seeing later, a 300-pound Russian by the name of Korchenko. But last but not least, Jim, of course, as the year goes on, the best is yet to come. But also, the real reason behind my retirement, well, Jim, you know I've always been a kind of a classy guy with the women, right? Well, I have a new lady in my life, and that's really all I've got to say, because all I got to worry about is just wrestle when I want to, and I really don't have to.
That statement from Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Well, it sounds like 1986 is going to be a big year in the plans of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. We'll keep a close eye on that. And now let's go to ring announcer Mike Wilson for our first exciting event.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first from New Zealand at the combined weight of 485 pounds, the New Zealand Sheep Herders. Their opponents from Pensacola, Florida, weighing 230 pounds, Ricky Gibson. And from Tampa, Florida, weighing 234 pounds, Al Perez. This match, one fall or 10-minute time limit.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mid-South Wrestling. Tag team action will kick it off here as Ricky Gibson and Al Perez go against the tough duo known as the Sheep Herders.
Well, Luke Williams right off the bat trying a little tactic there, pulling Al Perez into the ropes. Butch Miller with a collar and elbow tie-up.
And Joe, without a doubt, we've seen the Sheep Herders on several occasions. They have really walked through their competition, but this is without a doubt the toughest team that they have faced to date in the Mid-South area.
They stepped up in competition. This is going to be quite a test for the Sheep Herders. This is going to be quite a test for Al Perez. and Ricky Gibson as well, I'm sure. Of course, later on in this hour, we'll be seeing the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Gibson's brother, Robert Gibson, one of the members. Luke Williams really hammered Perez with that elbow smash, but Perez gets out of the way of the knee. And Perez is fired back with that big right hand. Now, we've seen Perez just flat level people with that right cross of his, and it didn't seem to faze Luke Williams in that instance. Luke is a tough competitor. That proves it to me right there, just that one incident. Well, Miller into the body slam.
And Joe, they're in and out, in and out. The Sheepherders tagging. Now, that's Luke Williams, ladies and gentlemen, in there with Al Perez. You talk about Beauty and the Beast. And Luke Williams going for that forearm. Perez showing his quickness. There's the tag to Ricky Gibson.
Perez is quite a competitor. I think if he's any less of a competitor, the Sheepherders might have been able to keep him in their half of the ring. That was obviously what they were trying to do, but Perez gets away, and now Ricky Gibson in. He's trying to gain some momentum on both of them at the same time, but the Sheepherders are just too wily as they take Ricky Gibson and give him a knee to the kidneys right in the rope area. Butch Miller into the ring now. He fires Gibson off, and I've seen him use that maneuver before. He goes right in. He's extremely aggressive, and he hits you with that knee right in close to the ropes as you have the most velocity coming out of it quickly to the double knee drop. We've seen him pin some people with this before. They get the lateral press. A pinfall for the Sheepherders as they leave the ring. Now, these two men are what's Luke Williams doing? He's looking underneath the ring. These two men, Jim, I think are just a little bit demented.
Oh, I don't know if demented, that may be a compliment, Joel. As there they parade around with that New Zealand flag. They're so proud of their country. Very anti-American are the New Zealand Sheepherders.
They most certainly are. You can hear the chants from the crowd of people really say USA, USA, but Luke Williams is adamant about the flag. A great tag team combination, but we're going to see another couple of great tag team combinations going head-to-head. Ted DiBiase and Steve Dr. Death Williams against Dick Murdoch and the Masked Superstar for the Mid-South Tag Team titles. That's coming up next, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us.
Gentlemen, introducing our next match for the Mid-South Tag Team titles. Introducing first the challengers from Waxahachie, Texas, weighing 279 pounds, Captain Redneck, Dick Murdoch. And from parts unknown, weighing 270 pounds, the Masked Superstar. You could tell you're in a stinking Oklahoma again. And entering the ring, the current Mid-South Tag Team Champions. From Omaha, Nebraska, weighing 260 pounds, Ted DiBiase. And from Oklahoma University at 270 pounds, Steve Dr. Death Williams. This match, one fall or television time remaining.
A tremendous crowd on hand at the beautiful Myriad Center here in Oklahoma City, ladies and gentlemen, and they're on the edge of their seats anticipating a tremendous tag team battle for the Mid-South Tag Team Championship. You're seeing it here on Mid-South Television. Ted DiBiase and the Masked Superstar representing their team, starting it out here. And Joel, this one has got the makings and all the pre-match hype. It's going to be a classic battle.
It most certainly will. Only on Mid-South can you see this caliber of competition competing for this high of stakes. Ted DiBiase with that shoulder smash with the Masked Superstar. We're seeing some good reversals here, Jim. DiBiase gets the upper hand and makes the tag. Good move. That's why they're the Mid-South Tag Team Champions. What a well-oiled machine. A couple of very great athletes. Dr. Death Steve Williams, I feel, is probably one of the greatest athletes to ever come out of the University of Oklahoma. And he has certainly proved himself here in professional wrestling. Listen to this crowd cheering for the Mid-South Tag Team Champions.
Well, Steve Dr. Death Williams earned his reputation and notched his gun, so to speak, just down the road in Norman, Oklahoma. Listen to the crowd. OU.
Jim, we do have a great crowd on hand tonight, and I've always said wrestling fans are the greatest sporting fans in the entire world. Murdoch, oh, he got hammered. He went for the cheap shot on Dr. Death, but Doc reversed it with a little help from Carl Fergie there.
Well, Fergie's going to hear about that one from Dick Murdoch, you can bet.
Jim, as I was saying, the fans of wrestling are the greatest fans in the world. Oklahoma City saw one of the biggest snowstorms in several years here over the past couple of days. The roads were really slick, but the people have turned out in droves. I think it's fantastic.
You know, Joel, there's only one thing I want to add to that. There's only one thing better than watching it at home, and that's being right here in the arena, as these thousands of fans are here in the Myriad.
These fans know it's true, and if you're watching on television, you're missing out, because this is some of the greatest competition in the world. Look at this! Dr. Death is hammered. Dick Murdoch with those shoulder smashes. I think he could have had Murdoch in a world of hurt if the Masked Superstar had to come in. DiBiase in after Murdoch. Murdoch's dazed.
Number 76 for the Sooners, Dr. Death.
Uh-oh. Oh, man. It's mayhem, Jim. DiBiase and Doc have the Superstar and Murdoch right where they want them. Except they have gotten to the outside of the ring. They're wily competitors, too.
Well, Murdoch easing out to the sanctuary of the floor momentarily to stop the momentum of the Mid-South Tag Team Champions. And if you just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, this match is for the Mid-South Tag Team Championship. Boy, Joel, Dr. Death and DiBiase look great. Dr. Death in such magnificent physical condition. What's the Superstars? Boy, he wants to play a little football, too.
Oh, man. Doc is nailing him. Brother, there's no shoulder pads there. The Superstar, he's got some cobwebs up there. And he takes in Dick Murdoch.
Well, luckily for the other teams in the Big Eight, Dr. Death has used his eligibility. He's still got the technique, Joel. Boy, he's a fun, but here we go again.
Murdoch's got to be crazy. Oh, no!
Murdoch, I thought, might have just a little bit too smart to go the well one more time. And now Murdoch's using his vast experience, taking over on Dr. Death as we hear this phenomenal crowd yelling, OU. Boy, they're packed to the rafters here, Joe. It's a great sight. The electricity's in the air.
Oh, Dr. Death, fight back. Doc can really level you with that short right. Murdoch has made his name in a few barroom brawls, but Dr. Death, I've seen him, brother, when he gets those right crosses going, people drop like flies.
Murdoch wants a timeout, I think, Joe. Halftime. There's no halftime in pro wrestling. Murdoch now.
Doc was out wrestling him there, but Murdoch, I think, taking distinct advantage there, using those rights. He hammered Dr. Death. There's not too many people that can do that. Murdoch is indeed a true back alley brawler. You have to give him credit. Oh, man.
Superstar buried the knee in the chest of Dr. Death. A 2 count. Now remember, this one's for the title, for the Mid-South Tag Team Championship.
Oh, man.
Well, they got Dr. Death, Joel, now. It's classic tag team strategy. We've used that term many times, but they're keeping Dr. Death in their part of the ring, and they're really hammering on this phenomenal athlete from the University of Oklahoma.
Well, they realize just how tough Dr. Death is. They know it's going to take quite a bit. Doc is fighting back. And you can't use that kind of tactic on Doc and get away with it.
DiBiase's tagged, and this crowd's going nuts.
Toe-to-toe, and DiBiase gets the upper hand. Power slam, yes! Yes, it's a figure 4. DiBiase has him. DiBiase has him, and the Mid-South Tag Team titles are going to stay. And the stable, I think, if Murdoch stays in this figure 4, he's in big trouble. Dr. Death nailed that Masked Superstar.
There's another masked superstar, and Fergie's calling for the bell.
It sure is. It's a disqualification. Interference from another party, and DiBiase had Murdoch in a lot of pain. Murdoch is still down. He's incapacitated, but there's something in that mask. The other masked superstar just put something in his mask, and Dr. Death is down. Now DiBiase's at the mercy of three men. They're hammering him. The loaded mask they hit him with. We got to get some help down here. DiBiase is in a bad predicament. Dr. Death is still down. Whatever was in that mask was mighty powerful because Dr. Death, oh man, Jim, it's mayhem.
It certainly is. There's two superstars. This was for the title. But there's been a disqualification. They've triple teamed the champions. Murdoch and two superstars. DiBiase on the floor.
Dr. Death appeared like he was lacerated. Oh no.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. We'll be right back with more exciting Mid-South action after this word from the network. Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Ross with this special reminder that Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Terry Taylor will be in Covington, Louisiana at the new Walmart store on Saturday, March the 8th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. They'll be there. Come out and meet those two great Mid-South athletes at the grand opening of the new Walmart store. Now, that's located on Highway 190 at I-12. It's in cooperation with Magnalite Cookware and Lisi Gumbo Pots and Fryers. Also in Thibodaux on Sunday, March the 9th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a six-man elimination tag match, an I Quit showdown, a 20-man spectacular in Thibodaux, Sunday, March the 9th at 3 o'clock. Now, right here in New Orleans, on Sunday night, February the 23rd, 7 o'clock, dog collar showdown. Hacksaw Duggan against Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. 2 championship matches, 9 great matches in all. And now let's hear this from the Mad Dog.
You know, Dugan, everybody out there in TV land in the whole world, we all know how ugly you are. That when you stand there proud as a peacock looking around and all them crazy thousands of people are cheering. But did we know you were so stupid to sign for a dog collar match? You think you're ugly now? Wait till I'm done here with you. I ain't never been beat by nobody in the whole world. I beat the junkyard dog. I beat them all. And now they say there's a new legend. His name is Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Well, I'm a legend killer, Jack. So you come on and put this around your neck and let's go to town.
Remember now, Hacksaw Duggan and Terry Taylor in Covington at the new Walmart store on Saturday, March the 8th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. A lot of free food, a lot of fun. But Hacksaw Duggan's not going to have any fun in the dog collar showdown. Let's hear his comments.
Sure, it's your kind of match. A lot of people would say, Hacksaw, your knee may not be 100%. Your name may not be ready to jump right in there. Strap on his dog collar around your neck. Put that 10-foot steel log and chain in between, baby. Ring the bell. Tell the referee to get out of the way and go to war. Well, you people out there, you Mid-South, you my family, you know me better than that, baby. Buzz Sawyer, if you want to fight on top of a building, if you want to fight out in the parking lot, if you want to go to some bar and finish it with pool cues, it makes no difference. But we're going to do it your way. Dog collar, strap it on. It's not my kind of match, baby. But like you know, Sawyer, you've been on me before, and I've come back. This time I'm going to finish you, tough guy.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, 9 great matches, 2 championship showdowns. It's all going to happen Sunday night, February 23rd, right here in New Orleans at the beautiful Lakefront Arena. Tickets are only $8, $5, and $3 on sale at all Ticketmaster outlets. We'll talk more about this card in the hour.
Introducing our next match. First of all, introducing from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing 240 pounds, Sean O'Reilly.
Koko B. Ware will square off against Sean O'Reilly. Koko Ware coming to the ring. Morris Day's Bird bringing him to the ring. People were dancing in the rafters, Joe. I thought they're going to fly out of there.
Sure were. That's a pretty good tune. Koko Ware has been doing really well so far in the Mid-South. Last week we saw him defeat Rob Ricksteiner. Tough match. He's got another big man at Sean O'Reilly. O'Reilly, a good rookie.
You know, Joe, I don't think Koko really cares about size. He's not intimidated. He is a fine athlete with a lot of God-given talent, and he is certainly not intimidated by anyone's physical abilities. Koko Ware!
Oh, man, that drop kick. He flattened him.
That's going to be all. There's no way. Yes, sir. Koko Ware doesn't work by the hour.
He sure does. That was a fantastic drop kick. Can we see that again in slow motion? Koko B. Ware leaving the ring here. Now take a look at this. Koko Ware, from a reverse angle, gets up on that second rope, and brother, he just flattened Sean O'Reilly.
And we'll be back with Eddie Gilbert's Big Russian right after this.
But our next match, introducing first of all from Russia, weighing 325 pounds, Korsada Korchenko. His opponent, weighing 245 pounds, from Texarkana, Arkansas, Harry Jackson. This match, one fall or television time remaining.
Well, Joe, we've got one big Russian on our hands, and if he weighs 325, I think we might want to put him on the scale. He looks about like 350 to me, and he is a monster.
He sure is. He's going right to the attack on Perry Jackson, clubbing him over the back and shoulders with those big forearms that kick to the midsection. Perry Jackson has not even got out of the starting blocks. Look at that. That's disgusting. Eddie Gilbert out there holding the Russian flag for this man. Korchenko.
Look at that. That is pitiful. I don't care what anybody says. You can be your own man if you want, but to do that, well, beyond explanation. The Russian is hammering Perry Jackson. This is one big man.
He sure is, and he is just clubbing Perry Jackson to death. I think at this point, he could probably even get a fall just for the punishment he's administered so far. He takes him out, looks like sets him for a big body slam.
Well, he's methodical, Joel. He's just like a machine out there.
I think he realizes that he has Perry Jackson completely under control. Look at that. Perry Jackson is just completely limp.
He's no small man. He's 240.
Oh, man.
Shoulder breaker. That's got to be it.
Lateral press. Carl Fergie calling for the 1-2-3.
Korsada Korchenko. And hot stuff Eddie Gilbert with the rush, that shovel and the flag. It's just, well, it's beyond explanation, as I said, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be back with more exciting Mid-South action after this word from the network. Before we talk about the next New Orleans event, ladies and gentlemen, please remember and please join us in Covington at the new Walmart store on Saturday, March the 8th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Terry Taylor will both be there. A lot of free food, a lot of fun for everybody at the grand opening of the new Walmart store. It's located on Highway 190 at I-12. It's in cooperation, ladies and gentlemen, with Magnalite Cookware and Lisi Gumbo Pots and Fryers. Also, what a card coming to Thibodaux on Sunday, March the 9th. A 20-man spectacular. It's going to feature a 6-man elimination tag match, an I Quit showdown, and much more. Tickets are $10, $7, and $4 in Thibodaux at the Civic Center on Sunday afternoon, March the 9th at 3 o'clock. Now, Sunday night, February 23rd, right here in New Orleans at the Lakefront Arena starting at 7:30, Jake Roberts will challenge Dick Slater for the North American title. Slater's the champion. This match with no disqualifications, and Dark Journey is going to be suspended high above the ring in a small steel cage. Let's hear these comments from Mr. Unpredictable.
What a rotten deal. Of course I'm happy about having the North American Heavyweight Championship title right back around my waist. But all of a sudden, right back to the same old story, Jake Roberts. Mid-South has protected you ever since I've climbed in the ring with you. Now I gotta put Journey what she doesn't want to be, in a cage, hanging up like a monkey. And I know you don't want to be in a cage. I know right where you want to be,
I
don't
want to
you?
be right with you.
Well, I want you to be right with
I'm
me, too.
excited.
But see, Jake Roberts, the cards are stacked in your favor. Well, see, Journey has never done anything to you at all, and all of a sudden she's up in a cage. Well, Jake Roberts, the North American title's up, the DDT's legal, and I'm going to have to fight you, and I'm going to be the better man.
One of the more touching interviews we've heard, she wants to be next to her man. Well, she'll be high above the ring in a small steel cage, and the DDT will be legal. Let's hear this from the master of that maneuver, Jake the Snake.
You know, in my lifetime, a lot of people have walked beside me, Dick Slater. But you know, they walked alone because a lot of people don't know me like they think they do. Now I've pushed you to the limit. Look what I did to your woman. She does look good at times. I got to give the girl that. But you see, girl, you lined up on the wrong side of the fence. You picked the wrong man to walk beside. So let's put you in a cage. And Slater, if you want me so bad, and I know you gotta want me by now, let's put the North American title up. Yeah, that's what we're talking about here, North American title. No disqualification. That way you can do anything you want. And I've always done what I wanted. What do you say, tough guy? Try me.
It's all going to happen Sunday night, February 23rd, 7 o'clock at the Lakefront Arena. Tickets are only $8, $5, and $3 on sale now at Ticketmaster outlets.
Introducing first from Alaska, weighing 295 pounds, Mike Scott. And from the University of Michigan, weighing 260 pounds, Rob Ricksteiner. Their opponents from Missouri, weighing 242 pounds, David Peterson. And from St. Petersburg, Florida, weighing 221 pounds, Brett Wayne Sawyer. This match, one fall or television time remaining.
Well, Joe, we've got more tag team action here. The young team of David Peterson and Brett Wayne Sawyer, equally as young. Their opponents, Mike Scott and Rob Ricksteiner. All four men with a lot to prove. Should be a very evenly fought contest, I would think, with Brett Sawyer having the edge and experience of the four men in the ring.
Whoa, Brett with a nice move there. Drop kick to the back at Dave Peterson with a big body slam. Peterson looks like he's going to be able to match Ricksteiner strength for strength. Something that Ricksteiner doesn't encounter too often, I'm sure.
Peterson's a good-looking athlete, Joel. Our first opportunity to see him here. Reminds me a little bit of Magnum TA in his physical attributes. Big Mike Scott at 295, tagging in against David Peterson.
Scott with a hard elbow smash. Peterson goes down. Scott and Ricksteiner trying to get the quick tag going there. Mike Scott's another rookie who has quite a lot of potential. Seems like all the great athletes come to the Mid-South because that's where you got to cut your teeth. It's right here. Brett Sawyer into the ring now.
The pace will quicken. I think we've mentioned that before. Anytime you see Brett Sawyer, if you're just having a conversation with him, it gets quick.
Sure does. And Brett Sawyer. Oh, man.
Great drop kick.
Ricksteiner just about decapitated there. Brett Sawyer goes down to the front face lock on the mat.
I'm sure he didn't encounter anything like that wrestling for the blue and gold of old Michigan U.
Well, Sawyer with a nice move there. He could have kept Ricksteiner down on the mat, but Ricksteiner, I think that's probably, you know, with the amount of amateur experience that he has, and as well as he did in amateur, I think that has to be one of his strong points is wrestling on the mat. As Peterson nails him with a hard right cross. Ricksteiner's up complaining to the referee. Peterson, the hard jab kind of woke Ricksteiner up a little bit there. Collar and elbow tie-up as Ricksteiner gets put into that arm bar and twist by Dave Peterson.
Two fine-looking athletes in there, Joe. You know, both of them, you can tell, spend a lot of hours in the gymnasium, a lot of hours working out. They're ready for the hand-to-hand combat that they find in the Mid-South area.
Ricksteiner trying to get away from that hammerlock with an elbow, but it didn't work as Dave Peterson takes Ricksteiner down to the mat. That hammerlock's a good a real good hold to keep somebody down on the mat if you're trying to. And in professional wrestling, there's no limits to how far you can bend the arm. Amateur wrestling, of course, a 90-degree angle. Anything above that becomes illegal. Dave Peterson taken to the ropes by Rick Steiner. Rick Steiner fires him off hard. Now, Peterson, well, he's got some height. See, he didn't even have to jump up to get over Rick Steiner there. He has a lot of leverage in addition to that strength. I think Peterson has a lot of potential. Collar and elbow tie up again as Mike Scott and Peterson kind of jockeying for position there. Beautiful, beautiful back heel takedown by Brett Sawyer there. Now, he's riding him a little bit high here, Jim. Mike Scott again with the elbow. Mike Scott with a nice reversal, almost a sit-out switch type maneuver. He goes in deep with a high crotch, turns it into a body slam.
And the body slam is one of his most impressive maneuvers, too, because he is a strong, strong athlete.
Oh, nice move by Scott. You got to give him credit for that one. He goes to the single ankle pick and keeps Sawyer from making that tag. I'm sure Sawyer would have been quick to get across that ring. Not too many men are going to be able to catch him in that situation. Rick Steiner with the knee lift there. Sawyer getting in close to his corner, and he gets the tag, it looks like. Whoa, the Luthez press. Peterson catches Scott. 1, 2, and 3. Whether that's all it takes, 3 count can happen quicker than a blink of an eye as Dave Peterson and Wade Sawyer gain a victory here on Mid-South Wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with Hacksaw Jim Duggan right after this timeout.
First, from Havana, Cuba, weighing 240 pounds, Gustavo Mendoza. His opponent now entering the ring from Glen Falls, New York, weighing 282 pounds, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. This match, 1 fall or television time remaining.
Hacksaw Duggan is #1. Yes, my dear, he certainly is. Hacksaw Duggan and Gustavo Mendoza. Joe, one point I want to add here. If there's anything that Hacksaw Duggan loves to wrestle, that is an anti-American. And he has got one now from Havana, Cuba. And this man from Havana is wrestling as red-blooded American as there is in the country. I'll guarantee that.
Well, Hacksaw Duggan has wasted no time in taking it to Gustavo Mendoza. I'd like to say that this is Hacksaw Duggan's first appearance on television since his knee surgery. He recently was operated by Dr. Stivers of Eastern Orthopedic in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Duggan says he feels great. He's ready to go full speed. And, brother, he is certainly doing that against Gustavo. Look at that. He just hurled him right over the top rope. If I were Gustavo, I think I'd be tempted to just call it a night right there.
Get the first plane back to Miami, hitch a ride to Cuba, and stay home.
Well, Gustavo kicked out against the midsection of Duggan, but I think that only made him mad. Look at him hammered Gustavo over the heart and lung area with those forearms. Brother Gustavo is doing everything he can just to keep his distance. Look at him. He is practically unconscious on his feet. Duggan fires him in hard. There's that big clothesline, man. Oh, my goodness. Listen to this crowd.
They love it. That's 15 yards in the National Football League. But it is pain, agony, and blues for one Gustavo Mendoza.
Front face lock.
And he's got it cinched.
Duggan slowing down the pace a little bit here. Elbow. You hear the roar of the crowd as Duggan goes to the turnbuckles. I think he has Gustavo exactly where he wants him as he sets for the big spear. The spear.
Hacksaw Duggan standing tall for the fans in the Mid-South and America. Hacksaw Jim Duggan with a great victory. And Joe, If he's not 100%, his opponents don't want to see him there.
Jim, I was just about to say that. I don't think that knee surgery has slowed him down one single bit. He came out and proved to the fans that he is just the same athlete as he's ever been, if not better. And we're going to be right back in just a moment with the Rock and Roll Express against the fabulous ones, Steve Keirn and Stan Lane. Stay with us.
We hope you can join us Saturday, March the 8th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Covington at the new Walmart store to meet Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Terry Taylor. Should be a lot of fun. Bring the kids out for a great time at the new Walmart store in Covington Saturday, March the 8th. Also the big event in Thibodaux on Sunday, March the 9th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, right here in New Orleans on Sunday night, February 23rd, Lakefront Arena, the Mid-South tag titles on the line with some strange stipulations. Let's hear this from the challengers.
You know, DiBiase and Doc, I can't believe that you finally had the stipulations, mass versus titles, to get you in the ring and finally put them up. And any other stipulation, the disqualification counts as a pinfall. Boy, you talk about stacking a deck against a superstar and Dick Murdoch. You talk about stacking a deck. But let me tell you something, DiBiase and Doc. Look to my right and look to my left. You don't know which superstar it's going to be. It's going to be Katie Bar the Door.
You know, some time ago, Murdoch and I sat down and we thought of all the possibilities that these two gentlemen could come up with. We also thought about this one. There's no way you can prepare for it. It might be me, it might be the other superstar. Pick your poison, boys. Pick your poison. You better be ready because you don't know what's going to happen to you.
The champions are ready, and they made this statement.
Our title's Dick Murdoch up against the mask of your superstar. The way I see that, we've got a lot more at stake in this match than you do because we have our livelihood and our bread and butter to lose, and your partner's got a mask to lose. But it's worth us to take the chance, Dick Murdoch, because we want to know who we're dealing with. We want to know who the masked superstar is or who the real masked superstar is, because whoever that was that hit the ring, there can only be one, and we want to find out who the other guy is. Now, pinfalls, disqualifications count as pinfalls. What that means, Doc, is we got to keep our composure.
Right.
And you, Murdoch, if you go like you've been going and getting disqualified to get out of things, then it's going to cost your partner his mask. So it's going to be down and dirty, any way you want it. But we've stood tall, and we're going to remain tall.
This Sunday night, you'll also see Terry Taylor, the Sheep Herders' Coco Beware. Terry Taylor goes against Rob Ricksteiner. Let's hear this.
A lot of people may be wondering why I'm wrestling Rob Ricksteiner, and I'm not questioning his credentials. Rob Ricksteiner is a great wrestler. He's new to professional wrestling, but in the amateurs, he has a great background, and the guy is really making a name for himself. But when it boils right down to it boils down to two words: Dick Slater. I made my intentions perfectly clear when I came back to Mid-South. I came here to be the North American champion, and I didn't expect anybody to hand it to me because I showed up. I plan on proving myself, and Slater's throwing challengers in front of me all the time because he doesn't want to wrestle me. So it comes right down to it, Rick Steiner, you happen to be in my way. I'm on my way up to that title, and you're in the way, and you're just going to have to get out of it. Because Slater, I'm coming at you, and I don't care what you put in front of me or what you do, sooner or later, that North American championship will be mine.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, now entering the ring, the combined weight of 440 pounds. From California, Steve Keirn and Stan Lane, the Fabs.
Just take those old records off the shelf. I've been listening to them by myself. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time rock and roll. Don't try
time remaining.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for staying with us. Jim Ross and Joel Watts from the Myriad Center in Oklahoma City, a capacity crowd, and so many of them were standing when those two men came to the ring. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson captured the hearts of the Mid-South fans when they were here the first time. And Joel, that love affair has certainly not ended. They're in for a tough test, no doubt about it. The fabulous one, Stan Lane and Steve Keirn. It's Lane in the ring against Robert Gibson. What a classic tag team battle right here on Mid-South Wrestling.
As I said earlier in the hour, the tag team competition has always been hot here in the Mid-South, and it's really heating up because of the acquisition of the inaugural Jim Crockett Sr. Memorial Cup Tag Team Tournament for $1 million. Both of these teams that are in the ring right now have bid on that, as well as the World Tag Team Champions, the Midnight Express. Collar and elbow tie-up here by Robert Gibson as they go to the ropes. Whoa. Stan Lane hit hard by Robert Gibson there. Oh, yeah, nice reversal by Robert as he picks Lane up for the body slam.
Stanley goes to the corner for a moment of respite to slow the pace down because the rock and roll, here comes Ricky Gibson. Well, I'll tell you what, Ricky Morton, there's no one in wrestling, Joel, in my opinion, that's got a more of a fighting heart than Ricky Morton.
No doubt about it, and the people here at the Oklahoma City Myriad know and listen to him.
You know, Joe, next week we'll hope to have some more names that are trying to enter the tournament on April the 19th in the Superdome in New Orleans. So everybody stay with us next week. We'll try to have some more of the people that are trying to enter this tournament next week here on Mid-South.
And we're also going to see the Rock and Roll Express in six-man tag team action along with Robert Gibson's brother, Ricky Gibson, as Ricky Morton just drop-kicked Stan Lane and Steve Keirn on the outside of the ring. They're nodding his head as if he's frustrated.
This crowd just, there's so much emotion at every instant, the Rock and Roll Express, and there's nothing like watching it at home, as we've said, but man, I wish, folks, if you're home watching it right now, I wish you could be here with us. There's just nothing like it. The electricity in the air at this television taping.
Most certainly, and there's a lot of emotional electricity between these two teams, because the Fabulous Ones have been very outspoken in saying that the Rock and Roll Express are just cheap imitations of them. Now, I certainly don't consider that to be true. As a matter of fact, I almost think it's vice versa, as Ricky Morton gets a beautiful arm drag. He tags into Robert Gibson, and you see there, Steve Keirn, he knows the Rock and Roll Express, and I think the Rock and Roll were set to use a double team tactic there, but Steve Keirn got out of the way of it quite quickly. He knows what those two men could do.
He's aggressively, or was aggressively, complaining to referee Tommy Gilbert that the Rock and Roll was breaking the rules.
Oh, Gibson up. Nice move, headlock takedown.
They're phenomenal, Joe. Both these teams are just excellent.
Oh, Gibson holds on. Gibson holds on.
We saw the Rock and Roll Express regain the World Tag Team titles from the Russians, Starrcade 85. They lost the titles in a very controversial decision due to the interference, in my opinion, of Jim Cornette. That situation's far from over, as this crowd picks up the chant we've heard so many times.
Headlock. Keirn turns the tide. You see some of the people that are really behind the Rock and Roll Express. Oh, look at this. Nice move by Ricky. He reverses it, gets the hip toss. Arm. Now that there, Jim, that was a Russian takedown, and Ricky Morton hit it so quick. I think it really surprised Stan Lane there. That was a very well-executed Russian duck under.
I'd like to hear what they're saying there, Joe. Maybe the words slow down. Does that mean anything? Let's slow this thing down. Rock and Roll Express only know one tempo, and when this crowd gets behind them as they have been throughout this match, it just, boy, I tell you, brings goosebumps.
Well, Jim, I think you brought up a good point there. The Fabulous Ones are also a pretty quick-paced tag team, but I think they're just a little bit more methodical than the Rock and Roll Express, and if they can slow the tempo down a little bit, they're going to be wrestling their match instead of the Rock and Roll Express. And I'm pretty sure that Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson realize that fact and are going to try and keep this thing going. But here, Steve Kern using a psychological tactic, trying to slow the pace down, and I'm sure right now he's thinking about what his next move is going to be, not the fact of whether or not he's going to be shaking hands with Robert Gibson.
Well, and his tactic is working because the match is obviously has slowed down, Joel.
You can't take anything away from the Fabulous Ones. They're great athletes also.
Well, they're one of the top 10 tag team combinations in the world, and I know that they'd love to be in the $1 million Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Tournament. But if he was
their names are in the hat. I'm sure the Mid-South Tag Team Champions are going to have their names in the hat. I doubt if they're going to be overlooked. As Ricky Morton with a nice move there. He nailed Stan Lane right in the midsection. Look at Kern. He's really complaining. I don't think it's his place to be complaining about the rules, especially after seeing him wrestle here in the Mid-South.
No, they've been known to take a few shortcuts. The Rock and Roll Express, I'll tell you, they started here in the Mid-South. They established their tremendous technique that you see on television stations and wrestling programs around this world, right here in this area. And this is home. And we're glad to have them back for this particular television program. As Lane buried the knee into the kidney area of Robert Gibson.
Well, he sunk it in there deep. He nailed him in the kidney. And, oh, man. Lane and Kern are taking full advantage of this situation. They're speeding it up. They're getting on the aggressive now. Robert Gibson looks like he's in a... Look at that. Stan Lane spinning at Ricky Morton. You don't think there's some animosity between these two teams? Brother, let me tell you.
Well, while the referee is occupied with Ricky Morton, they're doing one heck of a double-team job on Robert Gibson, and a near fall, a 2 count.
Robert Gibson with a nice bridge there. That's something you won't see him doing too often, is bridging. As Kern takes him hard into the turnbuckles.
I don't know how much time we've got left. We can't have very much time, ladies and gentlemen. Now, next week, we're going to have the Bruise Brothers here, plus Al Perez and Buzz Sawyer are going to get it on. As Joel mentioned, we'll have the Rock and Roll Express and brother Ricky Gibson in 6-man action. And Joel, important situation. The top 2 contenders for the North American title will wrestle on television next week.
Oh, most certainly, Jim. It's going to be a fantastic hour next week. We'll be coming to you from right here at the Oklahoma City Marriott. As Robert Gibson looked like he was getting up to make a tag, but he was reaching for the wrong corner. Obviously, they have Robert Gibson in a big predicament. If the Fabs keep this up, if they could keep Robert Gibson in their half of the ring, we may be seeing a decision here pretty soon. Robert Gibson fighting back, though. Ricky Morton has a lot of heart, but Robert Gibson is not lacking in that department either. As Robert gets over and gets the tag, yes! Yes, Ricky Morton's into the ring. Bang, bang, bang. He is hammering these two men. Ricky Morton with a drop kick. Oh, man. This could be it. Flying headbutt 2. Yeah. Oh, no.
We're under 1 minute here, ladies and gentlemen. We wish you could be with us here at the Marriott Center. There's nothing like the television taping. You should be here in person.
Gibson with the roll-up. He gets a 2 count on Kern. And now it's Kern in trouble. The Rock and Roll Express, I believe, will try and keep this man in their half of the ring from now on.
Well, the momentum has definitely changed. The complexion of this match has changed. Remember now, ladies and gentlemen, the Bruise Brothers with us next week. Al Perez against Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. Rock and Roll Express and brother Ricky Gibson in 6-man tag action. And the top 2 contenders for the North American Championship will wrestle right here on television next week.
Jim, we're just about out of television time. We're going to stay with this match for as long as we possibly can. These two teams are really battling it out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've been informed we're out of time. We wish you could be here with us. For Joel Watts, I'm Jim Ross. Thanks very much for being with us. We'll see you right back here next week on Mid-South Wrestling.
You're watching the Crescent City's premier independent station, WGNO 26. Television, New Orleans style.